Pixels, buttons, a bit of fun. Then, somewhere along the way, the big platforms moved in. Last year, $200 billion flowed upwards, away from the people who actually play. This year, they take it back. YOM, where players play games straight from your PC, not a data center in Virginia. Meet Tyler Pemberton. Yes, this looks dramatic, but he's perfectly fine. Tyler's offline. His PC isn't. 47 players streaming from his GPU right now. Even AFK, Tyler's rig is pulling its weight. He's making money in his sleep. Maybe this is what happens when gamers finally take control of their own world. Turn your idle GPU into passive income. YOM.net. Eat, sleep, earn, repeat.
Hello, everyone. Hello. Welcome to it. I'm going to bring everybody up and say good afternoon, good evening to everybody. Hey, gang.
Yo, that's special. That's really special.
They're really special. I'm really special. So.
You have a new little plank growing out of his head. Have you seen that?
Oh, yeah.
Love it.
Hey,
Well, welcome to it. Go ahead. You're on. You guys say something.
Sorry, yeah, it's my first time on a stream, and I just bring chaos at once. But your angle has changed, by the way, Jorrit. Your angle of the camera. What did you do?
You need to mirror it.
That's probably.
I think the mirroring. You need to
mirroring.
The lettering is the other way around.
I think so.
Okay,
Wrong way around.
So, welcome to it, everybody. So, this is the end of year review. 2025 was a massive year for YOM. We did so much. We call it the validation year, where we validated our technology. 2026 becomes the year we explode. If you're new to YOM, let me give you the real quick intro. There you go, he's flipped around. Nice. If you're new to YOM, what we are is we are a decentralized cloud network that is specifically designed to deliver AAA quality games through any URL, through some social media sites like Discord and Telegram. So it's really the best delivery system for high quality games. We do it at a much, much lower cost than the traditional legacy versions of cloud gaming. We don't have the issues that those big clouds have, where there's a long wait time and there's a massive cost and there's latency because it's coming from some building very far away. We built a decentralized cloud gaming network that allows us to stream at a low latency and allows people who have a gaming PC at home to sell us their GPU cycles, and then we pay them so they earn passive income with their computers at home. This allows us to do very localized broadcast from that node to the end user, no matter where they are. And it, again, brings the cost way down because we're not building big buildings and having to operate and maintain them. That's a quick version. If you haven't found us at YOM.net, you should go ahead and do that, or go to our Twitter feed or our YouTube account. We get a lot of explanatory videos as to what we are. But today we're going to go through what all happened in 2025. It was so much that went on. We're going to hit the conferences and awards that we won. We'll talk about the business ramp up that we've done and all the different companies we've contracted to. We'll talk about some of our tech milestones, the things we've accomplished in launching the Alpha Network and beyond. We're going to talk about our token, because the token, we moved chains, and that was a big deal for us as well. And then we'll talk about the massive growth that we've had here in the last 2 or 3 months with the marketing effort that we put in. And we'll end with what's going to happen in 2026, some predictions of where we're going to go in 2026, the big milestones for us next year. So that's the agenda for today. Let's get started, and going to kick it right off immediately with some of the conferences and awards. Anyways, first of all, everyone happy with that agenda? Anyone have a something that I didn't throw in the agenda that they feel like we should cover?
Nope.
No. I could do a quick
Maybe-
intro to everybody. That's a good way to start too.
Yeah.
So myself, I'm the CXO, the Chief Experience Officer, and I do things like this YouTube channel. I talk to some of the clients, some of the games and things like that. It's really the role that I play. Rohan is the CTO. Say hello, Rohan.
Hi.
So Rohan runs a tech team with an iron fist. Actually, it's more of a velvet glove. Inside the velvet glove is an iron fist. And the reason why our technology works as well as it does. Andy, say hello.
Hey, how we doing?
Andy's our CCO. He does our commercial outreach. He's our chief commercial officer. Your own, our CMO, new to join us this year. Well, actually, you've been away and then came back to us. Is what it came down to, right?
Marketing exactly. Officer. Yeah. This is my second adventure at YOM, but this is the best version, I must say.
Yeah, that's what we like to hear. Come on.
Yeah.
And
you're adding a lot as well. You're adding a lot as well.
You're our CEO, who's been here since the very beginning as well. You're say hello.
Hello.
So we are based in the Netherlands, majority. Andy's in Spain. I am in the US on the East Coast. And that's kind of, and you can, again, all of our bios are on our website, and you can see us for all.
Yeah, but most of the teams, so Rowan, Jeroen, me, is based in the Netherlands yet, right? There are some plans also to expand abroad with a new office, but yeah, maybe we'll talk about that, maybe not. Let's see.
The 2026 section.
You sound like me giving it away. Like, come on, I'm going to talk about it. Let's do it.
Thank everyone for the attention. This was it. Happy New Year.
Bye.
Happy New Year.
I'm also going to bring the chat up so I can pay attention to any of the chat messages, and if we get questions on the way, I'll try to keep track of them all. All right, so hitting first, the awards and the conferences we went to. We did and it was part of the timer that you saw at the beginning. We went to a slew of different conferences. I got a list here, but I don't even know if I've got them all. Andy, you can tell me if I've missed some. So okay. GDC, Unreal Fest, Pocket Gamer, Gamescom, London Games Fest, Develop Brighton, both Token 2049 in Dubai and in Singapore, the Tokyo Game Show. What did I forget?
Seoul. So what was the one in Seoul? I can't remember what it was.
KWE.
Yeah.
KWE. Yeah.
That's KWE. That's right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And didn't you go to one? You went to one in Amsterdam as well. Amsterdam blockchain.
Yeah. Dutch blockchain
as well.
Yeah, the
and
twice
one more missing.
So twice Helsinki. So we did Slush and what's the other one? It's another conference. Pocket Gamer. We did.
Right.
We went to Stockholm. So a lot of stuff.
So it's a lot of traveling, and many times. And we don't even have John and James up here, the BizDev guys, but they went with us on a lot of those conferences too to open the doors. And that's the reason why we have the stack of gaming publishers who are chomping at the bit to get onto the network. So that was a really good. I think the highlight of all those things, though, I mean, we did win the OX Labs pitch competition. That was a good technical prize, but really the highlight was winning the Game Tech Startup of the Year at Gamescom. Andy, you want to hit that real quick and tell people what that meant for us?
Yeah, I mean, so it was 350 people that we competed against. It's a Web 2 business, not a Web 3 business. So we compete against everybody. And there's obviously a lot of bias against Web 3 businesses generally anyway. So to win it is amazing. If you've watched the video, you'll see how shocked I am by winning it. We beat the one I always remember was a team of PhD people who built a neural link which you put on your head, and it enables people to play games using their brain patterns. We beat them. I was like, really? Yeah. And I was like, this lady was the German doctor, was like, oh yes, your project's very good.
You happen to know her then?
Thinking, no, but I got her thing, and I'm like, yeah, can we link it to YOM? Can we? No, we probably can't, but it was kind of cool. But yeah, so that was amazing, and it was like main VCs voting. It was, literally industry specialists. It's been something that people look to in the Web 2 space all the time. They're like, you won that, and we're like, yeah, so it's a biggie basically.
Nice. All right. And then we also got invited into the Nvidia Inception program and the Google Cloud for Startups. So we had not just those event prizes, but we also got hooked up with some big.
And we also received the Seal of Excellence Award after due diligence from the European Commission. So that's the EU. They basically put their stamp of approval on us as a project. So yeah, like what did we
Actually,
not win?
just a
So that's
quickie as
impossible.
well. We've obviously just been approved to go on the trade mission to GDC next year for the British government as well, which means they're going to pay for us to go to GDC and sponsor us to go kick ass in the US, show these Americans how to do things. AJ?
Right, like independence and freedom. No, that was us showing you guys.
Yeah, we gave it away, mate. We shouldn't have given it away. You're right. We like Australia. We should have stayed in England and moved to Australia. You know, maybe that's it.
But thought we'd jump now and into the business wrap up, like
Yeah,
all the
perfect.
different things that we got that we roped into this year, all different programs. But go ahead, and I'll let you take it away.
Yeah, so it's been a really interesting kind of. Obviously, the whole year has been really interesting. But what we've noticed actually, as we started getting more and more traction, and again, some of it came down to Gamescom, some of it came down to businesses starting to look to us from the Avalanche perspective, and all of a sudden, you know, we're not performing on a tier 2 level. We've never been tier 2. We've always been tier 1. But we were. It takes time, you know. Like in all cricket leagues, football leagues, whatever, you have to work your way up. So we've been working our way at the top of the league in level in tier 2. We're now League 1, and as we're getting into the League 1s, we're getting more callbacks. You know, we're getting people from centralized exchanges, DEXs, partnerships. I mean, I looked at some of the collab lists, and I can't give you some of them, but they are the biggest names in Web3. The companies we're talking to in the Web2 space are, again, FTSE 100, Fortune 500. You know, it's businesses that are brands which everybody in the world knows pretty much. So that's been, you know, a biggie. On the gaming side, and there's a few critical numbers here, I think they're amazing. So we've got our 1,000 node launch, which will effectively enable us to do 100 million exit transactions on a chain, which means about 200 million transactions on AVAX. That's 1,000 nodes, and that's about 10 games that we can run. And we're flying on that, by the way. We're absolutely nailing it. We've got 40 studios, publishers, aggregators, and 400 games aggregated through, you know, certain ones. They've got like 70 games, etc. So it's lumping up a little bit artificially who want to launch on our project. So that means effectively we could probably launch 40,000 nodes, working on rough estimates here, 40,000 nodes worldwide, and still we haven't even touched demand. We've hardly started calling people and bringing things on. So again,
I
this
don't
feels
want
like
Rowan's got
anyway,
starting to
have a heart
starting to
attack.
sweat over there.
Yeah, I'm just
Yeah.
thinking about all the scaling thing that we already have in plan, but you know, I'm just thinking how
Yeah.
soon we want to get this done now, since Andy is talking about these
And
numbers.
final bit, if you think about the numbers there, 100 million transactions, exit transactions paying node holders, 200 million general transactions on the chain. Then when you lump in the burn mechanism and then you add in 40 times that number, I mean, my maths here is what? Is that 8 billion? I think it's 8 billion. No, it's more. 80? No, it must be 8 billion. It can't be 800 billion. 80 billion. That'd be insane.
Don't do
Anyway,
math like that. What are you doing?
someone can correct me on that. Anyway,
No,
so the
I
other
mean,
bits. What is
this
it?
is real. Like these are the numbers that the sheet outputs, right? It does require some work on Ron's side, but he'll figure it out, and then we'll have it running. Right?
Well,
That's
that's it. We'll get the whip out, get on with it, you know. But anyway, so just a couple of other bits. We've got 3 massive gaming companies that we're in conversation with at the moment. The proof of concepts are happening as we speak. We obviously can't disclose them because they are POCs. So in January, we'll be doing that. We've obviously got leading nicely into our TG on that side. Interesting bit just that I added in here that I want to talk about. Obviously, we rely on McKinsey, that's one of the top management consultancy firms in the world, and their vision of cloud gaming. McKinsey's, whether you like them or not, and they've got a kind of mixed reputation for being totally confidential, non-transparent whatsoever. But the cloud gaming project how they view cloud gaming is it's going to be the future. BCG, which are a lot more kind of reputable in my opinion, and the second biggest management consultancy firm in the world, issued some stuff yesterday saying one of the top 6 things within gaming is cloud gaming. And that was literally last week. So if you haven't read that article, do read it. Yeah. And the final thing, and I think this is the bit that got most excitement from, and again, these aggregators and the 40 studios, etc., we're dealing with are predominantly Web 2. Now, I think the problem with Web 3 gaming is people look at it and it's like, it's, we see Axie Infinity and the fake kind of Ponzi scheme, Gameonomics or whatever it is on that side. Then you go to the Web 2 space, which is real, which has been real for years. These are the guys we're signing up, and the killer product they love is the ad play. So it's inside an advert. Static adverts get very low conversion rates, and user acquisition is the main killer product for people. We can do AAA games inside an advert, which means 15x for these publishers on game acquisition. People just go mad for it.
It's a piece of what I kind of said last week, and the idea that you go to a game review site and instead of seeing a trailer for the game, you're actually playing the game in the game review. Right, that's a much better commercial for the game, to play a demo of the game in a review site than just even watching the trailer. And certainly both are better than just looking at a static image. So, it's a lot.
Nailed it. Yeah.
All right.
Anyway, that's me.
Anyone want to reflect back on any stuff? Or we can jump right into because we've talked about Rowan already sweating over there, but the tech stuff is the next stuff.
Well, there's a lot I want to comment on, but like 98% of what comes in my head, I cannot disclose. So
exactly, that's the problem, isn't it?
Cannot talk about that. Cannot talk about that. Cannot talk about that. And then, the instant play is definitely, I would say, it's the means to an end, right? So the picture we're painting is way bigger than this. But this is our entry to the market, right? So this is a clear value proposition. We can do ads, we can do instant play, embeds, etc. But what comes after is, it's like a factor 10x that we can achieve. But we cannot talk about that. So let's skip it.
It's kind of just final point there. It's the beachhead. The beachhead opens up.
It's the beachhead.
Yeah. The beachhead is the ad play, and then everything else follows behind it. But the beachhead is the small piece. It's the it's the forlorn hope. It's the kind of 20 people go in, and then followed by the 10,000 after.
And the flywheel that being able to embed inside of a Discord or a Telegram, like how much of a flywheel that is. When now I want to send a game that I like to my buddy, I'm just sending him the game, the link to the game inside of Telegram, and he's not downloading, and he doesn't have to download and install. He's just playing it immediately, and he and I are playing immediately. How fast does that allow for game adoption to spread amongst large groups, right? Really, really rapidly, and because it's so cost effective, new game mechanics, new game genres can pop up pretty quickly. There's so my big bugaboo, right, is that the gaming industry just seems to be making the same game over and over again. Sequels seem to rule the day, and I'm dying for some new mechanics. There are some great titles that I saw from the award ceremony a couple of weeks ago that just blew me away, but not enough of those in my opinion. And I expect that our network is going to allow for those kinds of games to promulgate. All right, Rowan, I've got you waiting long enough. There's a lot to go through with tech. We did so much this year on the tech side. It is the bulk of the team anyways. But there's so much that we accomplished, and it's time for you to go ahead and crow a little bit about your team.
Yeah, definitely. Like you said, it's a lot to talk about. So during this time last year, we were preparing for the testnet. We wanted to launch around January, but it got delayed by a couple of months because of a lot of research work, and there were a lot of obstacles as well that we encountered, and that's why kind of it delayed. But we released in March. With 15 nodes, so that was the wave 1 testers, and then and I must say this wouldn't have been possible without Andy's and Vanessa's effort, because they worked very hard to get those SSDs in for us. I know there are a lot of calls and all, and then we finally managed to ship them and get them on board. So the objective there was to get a lot of data, and then like I said in previous town hall as well, that okay, the point is that we want to get started, roll the testnet out, get a lot of information, analyze, and then work on it. So this is the theme that we have been following as well. So like in test, in wave one, we got a lot of issues with respect to, let's say, the networking piece, right? Like all network configurations at home are very different. So then we said, okay, how can we improve this? And then we always have Urith on our side saying that, okay, and each step you need to think about how can we make it better, whether it is the latency piece or the node onboarding piece. So it is like, okay, he constantly kind of reviews and shares his feedback, which is good. So like we resolved the UPnP piece where saying that, okay, we do not want any kind of router configurations. So we did that. And then the rig check piece that we implemented, which was an executable that you had to download, right? And then then Urith also came with the feedback. Okay, why do we need this much? And then he said, okay, how can we make it better? So then he suggested, okay, this is maybe how we can do it. And then he said, yeah, we did that as well. And then so the rig check tool that we have, it's the version 2 that we are using, where it's like you can directly execute from a web, and then a small executable gets downloaded, and then you do that. So on the rig check, I just before our call, I extracted the data, and then I see that, okay, there are 78 unique countries that the tool has been run from, 283 unique cities that we got, and then there are 461 nodes which are eligible, right? So it is crazy number. So and then we are also talking offline, okay, how can we leverage this and then ease the funnel. That's where Jeroen comes into picture, saying that, okay, how can we make the onboarding better, faster. So
and you said 461. I thought 728.
Oh, is it okay?
Eligible
No,
machines.
at least
Yeah.
the data from it says, okay, these are the number of nodes that we can run, which are eligible at this point. So there are a lot which are not eligible, but this is the stat that we say, okay, 461 nodes that we can onboard, which is
And the
crazy.
ones that,
Well, wait.
some of the ones
I think I know where the difference comes from. So it's 400 something hosts, and then the amount of nodes. So the concurrent players
Yeah,
is times 2 is times 4, right? We don't know the exact number yet. So then you arrive in the 800 plus node category.
Yeah. That's right. Yeah.
No, I have
Yeah.
I have 764 completed eligible machines.
Then
In total, 2,976 rig checks.
That is great. Then
That's
then I need to maybe
updated
rerun
since
it.
4 days ago.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Then you have the latest information. Then that's right. But this is
Yeah, I mean,
effectively 2,000 plus nodes, right? That's what we can handle in terms of concurrency, which is
yeah. So already there.
Already there. Yeah.
Pack in,
Yeah.
go home.
So yeah, I mean, and then we also worked on our Telegram integration, and then we also have worked on our Discord piece as well, which is not live yet because it was still in testing phase. We had some issues with the Discord SDK, but we found our way to run the game on it, and after we released, I think right now we have 5K plus sessions already. Like people have played unique sessions that we have on the stats as well. And then sessions.
Andy's wanted to interject. Go ahead.
Yeah. I just want to interrupt there and just say how cool this is, by the way, what you did with Discord, because we were at Gamescom and I messaged, or I think you're at message saying, hey, how are we doing the Discord stuff? And Discord, GeForce Now, which is Nvidia, and Epic had just announced that they were going to do Discord integration, like massive thing at Gamescom. Big event, thousands of people there, press releases, blah, blah, blah. And then 5 days later, you did it. Do you know what I mean? So what can I say, mate? Well done. That's a great,
Thanks to Patrick.
Well done, Patrick, as well.
I mean, right now the network is also stabilizing, right? And if you look at, so we increase the amount of nodes. If you look at the current capacity, it's about, and it's still small, it's still test network, but even if you discount all of the future nodes, we can, in terms of capacity, we can handle about 3 million to 5 million game sessions a year as throughput, which is already pretty impressive as a number, right? It's like 3 to 5 million successful gaming experiences. Now, with the additional nodes on top, we're talking about billions in throughput. So imagine all of the on-chain sessions that get handled.
You know what would be an interesting
Yeah.
number to generate? What would be interesting to know, because we know that we're about 95% cheaper than Amazon.
Yeah.
What would the cost be on a yearly
Ooh.
basis for our network versus what Amazon
Insane.
would cost? Andy's got
That's
the calculator out.
Yeah.
You can do that. That's quite
Interesting.
easy though, because it's 100 million transactions, which is 100 million sessions on 1,000 nodes. So if you imagine 5 cents on that versus 95 versus $2. So $2 times 100 million is 200 million cost for them, and I think it's about 500K for us. No, is that right? Yeah, that'd be right.
So how much are we saving in the gaming industry or game publishers, right, to get their game out? We get a better distribution path at that much less of a discount, or that much of a discount. Right?
It's 199,500,000.
Quite
if
the
my
little
maths-
profit to put into a small game
Does that
studio.
right? Yeah, that is
pocket,
right.
isn't it?
Yeah, that is
Yeah.
right. God, there we go, kids. Little mental
Nice,
arithmetic there.
saving money and helping everybody. All right, Ron. No, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I'll not take much time that left, but I'm excited about what we are going to launch, or we are already working on, is the universal streamer, right? So up till now we were, just supporting Unreal Engine, but this last couple of months, the team has been working very hard, especially on the universal streamer. We did an internal test playing Counter-Strike game, and it was really good. This week, or it is by next week, we are going to deploy the universal streamer on some of our nodes on the testnet, and then the plan, at least before end of the year, is to roll the universal streamer with the existing games on the existing nodes. And then, like as already Andy mentioned, we have a couple of gaming publishers already in line. Then we are going to onboard those games as well, which are not Unreal games, Unity-based games. And then this is what we plan to make it live starting next year. So the first quarter is going to be very exciting. And then yesterday we were discussing with the team as well. And then quarter 1 and quarter 2 is going to be crazy.
Fantastic. Yeah, there's so much when you look back at, and I was almost going to do this too. I was going to try to find some clips from what we said last year about what we were hoping to accomplish in 2025 to compare the two. But getting beyond Unreal was one of the big ones for us, because we'd heard over and over again that Unreal is a great engine. It's beautiful. It renders some fantastic games, but it really is a smaller segment of the market compared to just the idea of every engine is what we really wanted to accomplish. So going after that and being able to achieve, and then it's faster, right? This universal pixel stream is even faster still, right?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, so we experimented with the objective of to test the Counter-Strike game was to test the input latency, right? Are you able to play a first-person shooter game with right accuracy, right? And are you satisfied? So when I demoed this to a couple of them, they were not just stopping, right? They were just playing because they wanted to win. But I said, okay, the objective is not that you want to continue play and win, but it's just I wanted to test how's the input latency. But then I had to stop them, kill the streamer, and then we continued the call. So that's how it ended.
So Ron, what about for node operators, right? What are exciting things that they can expect? And I think the last couple of weeks we've talked extensively about the container-based approach. Maybe you can go into more detail of that, because I think that's very relevant to the people listening.
Sure. Yeah. So like we have 3 different options, that we are planning. So first is the nano option, right, where people can buy hardware, plug it in, plug and play. You can just use it as a storage device, and if you don't have any background, so you just plug it in, buy node licenses, and it goes on. So that's what we are doing with Testnet as well. The next step is that what we are going to do is like you don't need to buy a nano device. You can just run through a certain, like, what we are thinking is more of a Docker-based command, that like how validators run as well. So as long as you meet the system requirements, you run certain commands and then you get onboarded, right? So now that does not come with the node license, but you need to buy node license and then get started up and running. So there's more feedback from Jeroen saying that, okay, since we have so much of rig checks which are happening and people are eligible, how can we get them onboarded fast, right? So this was one of the solutions that we discussed. Okay, if we do not have a nano constraint, then can we build something? And this is what we are going to work on Q1 as well. That okay, a Docker-based approach where people just run few commands and then get onboarded after a successful rig check run, right? And then the third option that we are also going to provide is someone who has an existing Linux-based system up and running, and then they can use the same approach and dedicate that machine completely to YOM, right? Running 24/7. The second approach that I discussed was more of, you can run it and then use your machine as well on the side. But the third approach is okay, you get maximum rewards as well. You can onboard more node licenses there as well. So this is very exciting, at least for node operators, saying, okay, you onboard quickly and start earning, the next hour.
That's so Yor jumped ahead and he prodded you into talking about 2026. We've got a whole section of what's coming up in 2026. Oh yeah. It fit in well though. It fit in well with what we're doing. And yeah, it's gonna be exciting. 2026 is gonna be kind of crazy. Yeah. But actually, Yor, since you wanted to talk anyways, and we've come to the section now regardless, so it's probably a good time for you to jump in. Let's talk about the transition, because we moved chains and we went over to Avalanche now. You want to talk about what that means and what that can lead to. You can go ahead and extrapolate into 2026, because I know that a lot of that stuff's going to happen there.
Right. So let's start before we talk about Avalanche, right? So the first bit that is really important is that you're dealing with a global system that is dealing with a lot of different demographics, with different setups, different machines, different electricity prices, differences, right? So how do you build a protocol which has a session-based payout, which is already variable, which is already depending really about the game that you're going to deploy, onto a global ecosystem with lots of differences in between. So the way we resolve that, or the way we're trying to resolve that, is by dealing with different price points globally. And there are two ways to do that. One is algorithmically, which is the top-down approach, which is basically a server that's stating, okay, this particular region, because of electricity cost, get this as a payout. Or you let the market do the work, right? And obviously, decentralized, DePIN, you don't want to go for the first option. You want to have the market influence effectively, based on supply and demand, what the prices should be of these sessions. Now, that led us to the realization the current blockchain that we're working on, which was Peak, was not the solution, right? We needed, basically, with the on-chain volumes that we're achieving, with our requirements of price differentiation, specific targeted liquidity pools to deal also with the price differentiation, we needed to basically design a completely new solution to the problem, right? So while Peak was like the nice initial onboarding to get the stuff out, just like the Solana part, it wasn't technically able to act as a home base for us. So that's why we got into touch with the Avalanche team. That was after we won Best Game Tech Award at Gamescom 2025. So we met the guys. They were super excited. They said, okay, Avalanche is massive on gaming. And they were, because they were the only blockchain project that was established at Gamescom with a massive consumer-facing stage. Right, so you go into, you enter the consumer area of Gamescom, where all of the people hang out, and the first thing you see is a massive Avalanche stage. And then we decided, okay, yeah, that's where we need to be, right? We need to be part of that community. But in fact, the other thing happened. They approached us after one thing led to another. Which is, okay, we shift the change, which was also the cause for the initial token delay. And as you've been seeing, that change has been very positive in terms of engagement, in terms of community growth. So everything that we've building has been resulting in a lot of impact on both the marketing as well as the technology. So what that also means, moving to Avalanche C-chain initially, is that we will at some point have to bridge again, but then consider the bridge an upgrade, because we're moving from C-chain, which is the main, it's basically the Avalanche main chain, to our own private layer 1 chain. So we inherit all of the security features of Avalanche, but we're effectively running our own nodes, our own validators, our own blockchain. We can set all of the criteria. That means any payout of YOM will also be paid for in YOM. So the gas will be YOM and the payout mechanism will be YOM. That means that holders of the tokens can just send the YOM around without holding any other token. That means we also solved price differentiation in between different continents, different countries. And ecosystem alignment, because Avalanche is basically the gaming chain out there. So I think that's the entire story. In terms of roadmap, so just making that very specific, the migration to the L1 will be milestone based. So it's dependent on the amount of transactions that we will be running on the Avalanche C chain. If we hit enough that we say, okay, right now we're paying so much money on C chain that we could be instead earning ourselves, that is for us the threshold to move to the layer 1 and also implement the price differentiation features. So it's entirely conditional on these milestones.
You know, that there might be some people who are tuning in who haven't realized the full extent of what our the way that our token works for our network. You know, just real quick talk about like why do we have a token and what does it do for the node operators?
So there are two parts, right? So why we have a token? So it's a DePIN solution. So it's the fuel. It's the you can compare it basically to gasoline, right? So it's a limited supply. You use it to power your car. Well, in this case,
electric
car.
Oh, you Dutch.
And as you consume the resource, it becomes fewer and fewer of the resource available. Now, the fortunate part is all of the payouts are USD denominated. So we fetch prices from all of the DEXs where we have all of the LPs running. So we know, okay, this should be the payout. We use that as a mechanism and start paying out the operators. That means that independent of our own price, the payout will always be USD denominated, which is really safe for people. So you can decide either to liquidate it if you want to, you can decide to hold it. And at the same time, 5% of every transaction we're burning, right? That means fewer and fewer YOM in circulation. That means YOM as a token will become scarcer and scarcer. So that's the net effect. That also means that all alignment of the ecosystem, all stakeholders of us, of our investors, is all on ensuring that the network gets as much activity and engagement as possible, because the more network usage equals into more scarcity for the token, equals price change up, right? So if the adoption, let's say, saturates, it doesn't grow, that means it's still like the price appreciation continues. So even if YOM as a company doesn't grow, and let's say the equity or the valuation stays similar, the price keeps on going up, because every usage means more scarcity, right?
Not
So
financial advice, but that's the general theory.
yeah, and then on top
No
of the
financial
theory,
advice.
it's also a blockchain, right? We're not saying that because we know, okay, the core proposition right now is DePIN. That's where all of the money is being made. There are so many chains everywhere, but we're also effectively our own blockchain. That means that you can technically also deploy your own apps on the YOM ecosystem. But that's that's not our
I like that. I think loads of people are going to start deploying apps on the YOM ecosystem, and
their
think
own
about all the
game token.
games that come. Exactly, that's it.
Right.
Yeah. So don't buy. The main message here is don't buy the token, but buy the story. Right?
Sure.
Because
Buy the token and the story.
Yeah, is
I
it?
don't know, not financial advice.
No financial advice. No. Just
play games as well. And play as well.
That's the best important part.
Yeah.
Play games. If you own
Just
YOM, play games.
All right. Well, thank you, Jort, for the update on the token and giving people a good understanding for it. So the next section is Jeroen. It's all on to you. But so we've had a real big push recently in our marketing effort, right? Because we've started the nano sales at Fresh Miners, and a lot of people are jumping in there. But this brought us to massive growth in both our Twitter, our YouTube, our Telegram, Discord. I don't know if I gave you enough time to go get some numbers if you get a chance to do that, but I'll throw it over to you and let you take it away.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, to start off first, I see the first comment in the section is about what is the real criteria for YOM Airport. I kind of like that question.
What does it
YOM
mean?
Airport. Let's build it virtually.
YOM Airport. Okay.
YOM Airport. Yeah. I like it. Yeah. So in terms of some data, I have prepared some data, not all of it, but let's say I will probably be promoting it or sharing it on X anyway, because I think it's a milestone. So we have been getting into so much growth lately that yeah, sometimes back in the days you were checking a post and then you were basically scrolling through comments and then you thought, oh wow, 10 comments, that's kind of good. This is basically breaking the week. This is nice. This is a milestone. And now it's basically you see posts that have more than 100,000 views. You have a lot of comments, a lot of GM. Let's fucking go. Sorry for the words here, but yeah, there's a lot of things going on, and obviously it asks also for a specific type of fan. In this case, a lot of people who basically are hunting down quests. So for those who haven't seen it before, we are running quests on quest.yom.net, and that's where you can basically get rewards by performing quests, follow us, engage with us, posting about us on X, on Discord, etc. More quests will be added. So I also saw a comment from Nerdgasm that basically we need a quest that enables people to do rig checks. Well, that's on its way, Nerdgasm. So good comment. Because yeah, finally you want to have obviously a lot of awareness regarding and surrounding your token, but eventually it all turns down to who is going to be those future operator. And yeah, as we have been discussing, the rig check is being actively used. And yeah, we want to just increase that number. We want to just filter out, obviously, people who are just running quests because they like to run quests. And we want to filter out those operators. So in terms of data, here are some numbers. I'm just now quickly in the back end of the Quest platform. And what I see here is that since we've started, that was I think the beginning of November. Now we already had 670,000 posts published by people.
Wow!
So that's almost 700,000 posts, unique posts about YOM.
Wow!
I mean, that's mind blowing. And there are people like who have up to 50, 60,000 followers, who have a lot of engagement, who have really decent, cool quality posts actually that they basically publish on their own timelines, which is insane. Another data point is that we grew, and I'm not sure if that's correct though here, but I see a lot of wallets connected to our to the Quest platform. And now what I see here, it's 780,000 wallets that have been connected.
Insane.
See,
Again,
and I don't think it's. I mean, we're sitting here marveling at the. Yeah, we're sitting here marveling at the numbers, but I think really, and again, I think there was a marketing team who told us this, right? That our value proposition is pretty easy to grok. Everyone in the world plays games. It's the highest form of entertainment. It's the most money generating form of entertainment in the world. But there are people who are really locked out because they don't have the hardware to play the high-end games. They see an operation like ours, or they see a network like ours, it's going to open the door to those people to be able to play. So for the players' perspective, they get excited because now they can play the high-end games. And from a publisher's perspective, they get excited because now they can market to a much broader audience than they could in the past. So win-win for everybody. And then for us, of course, we just sit there in the middle and facilitate all that transactions.
Exactly.
We've also done, so that's also worth to mention, we've done in the last month over 100 collabs with other communities. And basically campaigns are executing at the moment also with all of these other communities. Communities include Pudgy Penguins, Bored Ape, what more, Other Side, like
Rootstone.
basically all of Rootstone, all of the top tier communities we have a partnership with. So I think we've basically hit the top tier in terms of marketing. Our smart, so this is also important, right? So like it's also about the ratio between smart followers and your real account, but we've also quadrupled or maybe like even more by now, because this was quite some time ago when I checked in the amount of smart followers. So that means QLs, people with a significant following on our account. So yes, it's followers, but it's also quality of followers that increased.
Yeah,
I think
exactly.
that,
So normally in Web 2 marketing, you basically focus on people who are not only your ideal customer profile, but you also figure out like, okay, how many times did they visit the basket until they buy something from you? And now in crypto marketing, you basically can, because blockchain is transparent, you can also check, okay, you want to focus on wallets that have a specific amount of, let's say, NFTs or tokens or etc. Because then the chance is bigger that they will probably have more money to spend. So the whole marketing, like the whole marketing strategy is also focused on, okay, let's get people in who firmly believe that YOM is going to be the next big hit. And well, guess what? I think we are already. So focus on those, and then secondly, get all the people in that basically want to be a future operator and earn some money on the side. We have I asked Daniel, our visual designer, to create a vacancy, the operator vacancy. It's more like a joke, but we'll promote it on X. You can actually apply for the job, and we will be. You will get paid very well.
oh, I love it. I love it.
Great idea.
That's good, man.
Yeah, that's
Well,
great.
fantastic.
funny.
Thank you. for running
Just
through
one
all
thing
that.
here,
Go ahead,
by the
Andy.
way, on the stats, and I'm not sure if you finished those ones. Didn't we get something like, and maybe I'm making this up, didn't we get in November something like 970,000 hits on our website? Wasn't it something insane like that, I think?
Yeah, we had
Making
an insane
number up.
spike of we went viral. So basically, the whole video that you still see as a pinned post on our X, it went viral. So it has now over 600,000 views, I believe, more than 40,000 reposts, etc. So
Yes.
what happened was, although like a piece of those followers obviously went to see YOM, and we had a big spike on our website. Yeah, obviously, and also the biggest spike was actually in terms of engagement was on the 9th of December, which was our
Right.
previous
What happened
TG.
then? Was there something?
I still
okay,
don't know. I still have to figure out why, but I think we had some crazy content back then, and probably people were expecting a TG or something. I don't know.
Oh yeah.
But
No, I don't know what they're talking about. Losers.
no, I'm not.
Forget it. It's over.
Yeah.
But I think the interesting thing when you talk about that TGE, all the stuff that we're doing, all the things we're pushing for is for the community and for the project, and actually when we look at what we're doing now and we look at what was happening 9th of December and where things are going in January, it's looking a hell of a lot better. All the stats, everything's coming in, all the kind of what VCs are saying, what private equity funds are saying, it's all aiming in the right direction.
It's on one sense it's so weird and random, because normally you have the tech already works for quite some time, and then all of a sudden when you have numbers coming in and you still have the same decent quality of tech, then all of a sudden people are willing to talk to you. And that's so crazy in the mind. It's so crazy in the mindset of people, because when your story, I mean, we always tell the tech story is for real. It's not like it's like a bubble. Like 99% of other crypto projects, it's for real. And then suddenly people just start to talk now, and they take you seriously. We get callbacks, as you said, Andy. It's so weird that it works like this.
What's the stats or something, isn't it? You need to see something 7 times before you buy it. And maybe we've just hit on 9th of December, maybe we hit the 7th time. And now it's like...
Yeah, but it's the same with the Transformers architecture, right? So the Transformer architecture, which we now know as LLMs, was already developed by Google in 2016, 17. There was a paper around it. So the technology existed and there were some initial models, but nobody knew about it, right? And nobody was investing. VCs were not investing in that because this AI is never going to work. And now that it has gone viral, everyone is putting their money on it. But like the better investments come
it was
before
earlier.
it goes viral,
Totally.
right?
Right.
Yeah.
So, but the question is it now too late to invest in YOM?
No.
What do you think?
No, no. I mean, if you look at the marketplace and look at, I mean, 40x the number of nodes and we've got launching this year is what we'll fill, is what we could fill, basically. I mean, it's
it's
And that's
exactly
only
this.
a
What we can fill, yeah. But the funny thing is that now 1,000 nodes might sound to some people like, oh, that's 1,000. That's a lot. You know, that's okay. That's not scarce.
Yeah.
But people don't realize how super scarce it is at the moment.
Yeah.
And it's kind of, I mean, that's my challenge, obviously, to make it more scarce. But again, it's the fact that that we're at this stage that we're still a little bit of a like hidden project, I must say. Although we get like some engagement and we growing and etc. And all things come to come together at some point. But still, yeah, the fact that it's still slightly hidden, that's cool. I mean, I'm happy to be here now, and then I'm happy to be joining at the right moment.
And
see what
Jeroen,
happens.
I think how people perceive it's either in two directions, right? So it's either about, okay, you got to be scarce, so it's a limited amount of nodes, or
Mhm.
you have to sell a shit ton of nodes, right? And we're
Yes.
saying
Yeah.
no, it needs to be. We need to cautiously grow with demand, right? So we unlock as we go, and we keep it relatively scarce, so to onboard new people and to make the existing node operators hyper successful, because otherwise you
Yeah.
end up in the territory in basically the same situation as Helium and lots of other DePIN projects, where they cannot maintain that equilibrium. They sell too many nodes, then the profits are 1/100 of a piece of that, and then the project dies. Even worse when it's indeed also tied to the token crashes, and then it's basically zero, it's
Yeah.
over, right?
Yeah.
We don't have any of that, right? So because as we are growing with demand, it ensures that the payouts are always relatively stable. There will be
Yeah.
some spikes during the night, during certain game patches, events, updates. There will always be that supply and demand equilibrium, but we will never follow, let's say, logarithmic patterns going all the way to zero or going to infinity. That's just simply
No.
impossible, right?
It's actually part of I think the DNA of everyone here in the company. Like we're all very I mean, obviously we want to be financially successful too, but we're all really it's more important to us. We prioritize the technical success because we know the technology is super good. We know it'd be super helpful for the gaming community and the gaming industry, and we know it works. Now our highest priority really is getting it out there and letting people see the everything that we've built, and in a way like an artist who just paints because they love to paint. I put ourselves in that same bucket where we are developing technology because we want to develop technology, and we know there's a market for it too, and we'll find that. But to most degrees, I think that the five of us all kind of agree it's a technology play, not a get rich quick kind of play.
Yeah, and especially in this market, it's either it's also a challenge, but also our goal not to overpromise, because everyone is overpromising.
Yep.
So if you don't
Right.
overpromise, then people just say, "Huh, what a project! I'm not interested because you're not overpromising. I like projects who have big marketing spend but have shit in tech." And that's the whole thing. So you rather grow steadily, and you want to have those operators having a decent income on a monthly base, and you want to make them happy because they are the first fans. They are the first users, and they are the first believers in your tech. And then slowly, steady, you'll grow. And
Yeah.
that's a challenge because we get a lot of engagement now. So it's also
Yeah.
yeah. That's a challenge,
Yeah.
but it's fun.
True.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
at least we have with the NFTs, we control supply, so we can unlock as we go, right? So and it's the same on the demand side.
Sure.
I mean, we cannot onboard the likes of Counter-Strike at the moment. So we say, okay, guys, that will be a future engagement, right? And we cannot even deploy with all of our 40 publishers. Like that's just simply impossible. So we have to pick and match which project makes sense within the current context, right? And now going for a triple A, so that's also a thing. If we're not going to deploy with a triple A quality game, because that would basically be killing our network, right? So the best approach going forward is to pick games and to collaborate with studios and publishers that are on the same level as us, and we grow gradually. And as we grow, the velocity of the network reduces, and as the velocity reduces, we can more easily onboard more types of publishers without any hesitations, and at some point become so stable that everything happens organically.
Well,
Right.
that's why we rang Rockstar and told them that we wouldn't take GTA 6 next
Yeah,
year.
yeah, we had to
You know what I
cancel them.
mean? It was
No, by the time
it was a
GTA 6
shame,
comes
but,
out,
you know, their loss, you know.
yeah, by the time it comes out, we'll probably have a few 100,000 nodes out there.
Yeah,
I think we need
definitely.
about 1 million. No, do we need
All right.
100 million, 150 million
Watch
a
it.
month?
Don't
Anyway.
overpromise. Don't overpromise, guys.
Okay.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
All right,
Done.
let's spend the next like 5-10 minutes going about 2026. So we could tease it at the
Oh, yeah.
beginning. But so you got what? TGE, the Universal Pixel Streamer, mainnet. I mean, there's so much to talk about. Who wants to start us off with talking about 2026? You want to?
Yeah,
You
sure.
want to jump into it?
So TG is still targeted for Q1, so end of Jan, beginning of Feb. That's our starting point. Everything is still aligned for that, but there are a lot of different components, right, that we need to align. But it's looking really good. Market obviously not doing well. Still not doing well. The expectation from our experts that investors, market makers that we've been talking to is they expect a significant rally in Q1. So we're trying to ride that wave, but all of that is price forecasting. You cannot really build on that. So I'm also not a financial advisor, so that shouldn't mean that you should now invest in tokens. But that's the alignment around TGE. Then we have, we're indeed building an additional product that's really going to strengthen our ecosystem. That means expansion. That means we're also exploring, okay, where and how are we going to deploy this and which partners are involved. So there are like a lot of big names associated to it. So unfortunately, that also means we cannot talk about it. If it was purely set up by us, we would immediately make it transparent. But this is not such a project. So let's just stick with indeed the tech that we do control and that we can internally communicate. And I think that's a nice bridge to Rowan, because the next part is the Universal Pixel Streamer.
Yeah, so Universal Pixel Streamer, very excited to launch or support different game engines. And like Judith mentioned, there are a lot of publishers in line, and then happy to onboard them. So that is the first, target. Then we are selling nanos, and then we want to scale the tech so that it supports, starting from 300 nanos to even more. And now, since we are also talking about Docker based approach as well, so that means we have more capacity, and then we need to scale accordingly as well. So first universal streamer, then scaling the network. And then the ongoing effort is on the AI model that we are working on, where we want to check what's the system stats, right, and how can we support more nodes or per host as well, per nano, and then optimizing, collecting data on the system's stats as well, then game stats as well. And then we also want to support AMD GPUs as well, that is big in line. So that also expands our reach. So it is similar to you talk about Unreal game engine, and we support now different game engines. So now we talk about GPUs, where they say, okay, Nvidia. Now we want to support AMD as well. So I'm actually really excited about 2026. It is going to be fun. It is going to be fun.
Very nice. Andy, from the business side, anything from 2026 you want to highlight?
We're
going to be
I
going more.
think it's going to go through the roof. I'm a little bit So for me, it's like, it's great to hear Rowan's going to basically ramp up software piece, number of nodes out, universal pixel streamer. I mean, and I messaged earlier, it's like, just so people understand, 13% of games are built on Unreal. It is the best gaming kind of engine. However, 13%. So the universal pixel streamer opens up 100% of games. You know, we were having conversations last week around AAA games built on mobile. Now you can only run them on super high quality gaming mobiles. So, you know, all of a sudden there's this massive market where people don't necessarily want just, I mean, people still want easy games, casual games, but there's a whole new market coming for that. There's a whole new market for the cloud gaming piece. You know, the numbers are 28 billion of cloud gaming, and that's at $2 to $6 a piece. When we go to 5 cents, I mean, it just feels like a no-brainer for me. It should be hundreds of billions of, you know, numbers. Everyone should be moving away from consoles and PCs and everything. So we're going to onboard everybody. Basically, that's the goal for 26.
Nice.
Yeah.
How about from the community and marketing side, Jörn, anything from 26 you want to highlight?
Well, there are at the moment like people. So most of the people basically see like on X and they see join quests, and then they basically go into quests, and then they see some collabs that they basically can join with other communities. And I was just briefly chatting to Jorrit about this. Like it has been not on the radar enough to basically mention the quality of the communities that we actually collaborate with. So I think it's my personal mission now. And no, okay, I'm sitting saying this on video. That's kind of scary, to be honest. Shit. Yeah, here I go. It's my personal mission. I'm just watching the camera. It's my personal mission to get all the communities mentioned or announced, and so people actually know and understand that this is just not a fling. This is just basically a biggie. So that's actually for 2026. I mean, the year itself is pretty big, and 24 hours in crypto is already a year. So if I should be doing a forecast, that makes I should be doing a forecast for at least 100 years. So not going to do that. But yeah, that's the first start of 2026. I hope the market's getting a little bit also in a greedy sense. So that also going to help us being successful with TG. Yeah, that's it for now.
Well, I'm going to also mention that this is our first stream on Twitch from YOM Official, the YOM Official site. So we've added Twitch just last couple of days. So it came up from the community like, hey, Twitch is where all the gamers are. Shouldn't you guys be broadcasting there? And I don't do a lot with Twitch on a personal level, but a little bit. But I said, you know what, you're right, we should look into that. And we just launched our Twitch channel. So now Twitch, YouTube, and X is where this is going out. We'll post it also to the LinkedIn and some other places as well. But that's a new ad as well. I'm going to really quickly also mention that I don't think we're going to be doing a town hall next Friday, because that is right between Christmas and New Year's, and many of us are traveling or have family in town. So I would not look for another stream from us next week. But then I might surprise us and decide that I'm bored and I feel like I want to get live, and I'll go live. Just by myself. Jorrit, I want to give you the last word though, to say goodbye and highlight anything else that we think we missed that we probably want the community to know.
Yeah, I think next year is going to be a super exciting year for us. There's just so much crazy stuff in the pipeline. It's like we need to prioritize and focus about which thing is more epic than the other thing. So that looks really good. It's a really nice way to enter Christmas, right? So we'll probably get fat the coming days. We'll eat a lot of food, and then we'll celebrate a very nice new year, and hopefully everyone in the community does as well. Hopefully, next year in Q1, we can see, you guys can also see the performance of everything that we did, and that we don't disappoint you on that. And I think we've already done it, but in the end, it's the market that decides.
All right. Well, thank you everybody for tuning in. If you have any questions that we didn't cover, join our Discord, ask them in the question section there. Come on to our Telegram. That's a good place too. Of course, follow us on X, follow us on YouTube. If you're watching this video on YouTube, if you please make a comment and then like the video and then make another comment. All those things help out the algorithm to make the video go viral. And we will see you guys in probably about 2 weeks before we do our next Town Hall live stream. Thanks, everybody.
Cool.
Happy Christmas,
Bye-bye.
everyone.
Merry Christmas,
Bye.
everyone.
Happy Christmas.
Yeah, Merry Christmas.